This will be a quick review on calculating the area of rectangles and circles with their formulas. To calculate the area of a rectangle, we need to know the rectangle's length and its width. It doesn't actually matter which side you label as which, just as long as one's the length and one is the width. Quite often, though, we make the length the longer side. And so to calculate the area of that rectangle, we just multiply the length and the width. A is equal to L times W. To calculate the area of a circle, all we need to know is its radius, R. So A for a circle is equal to pi r squared. Make sure you have a calculator that has a pi button on it and can square numbers for you. Let's do an example for calculating the area of a rectangle. So as I said, it doesn't actually matter whether you pick the length to be 9 millimeters or 6 millimeters, just as long as you pick one to be the length and one to be the width. So I'm going to go ahead and make the longer side length just because that's what I do the most often. And the 6 millimeters, I'll call that the width. So we can go ahead and stick those into our area formula. A is equal to LW, or length times width. So that would be 9 for length times 6 for width is a total of 54. But now we have to remember our units. Because the measurements were given in millimeters, 6 millimeters and 9 millimeters, that means the area that we get out of this equation is going to be in square millimeters, or millimeters squared. So the area of the rectangle is 54 millimeters squared. Now let's calculate the area of this circle. So you can see the measurement that we're given is 18 inches, but that's actually the whole diameter of the circle. So the diameter d of the circle is 18 inches. But you'll recall that our formula for the area of a circle depends on the radius, not on the diameter. So we have to turn that diameter into a radius. And to do that, we just have to divide it by 2. You take the diameter and cut it in half, and you get the radius. So 18 divided by 2 is 9 inches. And now we're ready to calculate the area. A is equal to pi r squared, pi times 9 squared. Now this is something you have to make sure you're comfortable doing this type of equation in your calculator. Some calculators are easier to do and you can type everything in at once, and other calculators you might want to do an equation like this in smaller steps. So you just have to decide what works best for you and for your calculator. If I was to do this in smaller steps, the first thing I would do is the 9 squared. You'll remember from your BEDMAS days that you have to do the squares first, or the exponents first. So 9 squared is 81. And then to finish off the calculation, I do pi times 81. And I get 254.5, I'm just going to round to 1 decimal place, square inches, or inches squared.